Hello, everybody. I am Technovoid, your host and guy who really regrets committing to weekly recaps here with week 4 of the Faedos Draft League. So this one is going to be a little bit kind of short and sweet because we had matches that went all the way until Sunday, so I didn't have a chance to actually record last week, so we're just doing it now after work. I'm really tired and I just want to get it done with. So we are going to kind of just go over the teams as usual, but then probably in-match stuff won't be as intense. Week 5 will certainly be better, I'm sure. Honestly, this is actually not a bad week. Picking out these games and doing some basic analysis. I actually think, despite the fact that all these games only went to game 2, I actually think we had some solid matchups this week. So starting off with Peanut versus Techno, this is maybe the weakest of the bunch up first. But just to start, so on my side, I'm seeing on Peanut's side a huge weakness to Bug. Puppist has a great neutral speed tier here. The only thing that outpaces it is Jetsome, and then after an Unburden, obviously it's ahead of things. Half this team is weak to Bug. Boggle is also weak to Ghost, of course. Karaskai and Jetsome don't take a Bug move super well, and then you have the 4x resist on Angrief. But as long as Angrief doesn't come, hopefully I'm fine, right? Rain is going to be a pretty obvious spring here, so Armor Cannon on my side is not a good idea. I mean, mainly I would just be bringing that for Angrief anyways, which does kind of leave me at a lack of ways to hit Angrief, because this team doesn't really have any good ground coverage, so I am kind of banking on the fact that Peanut sees bigger value picks, or rather bigger value brings than Angrief. And on that point, Angrief does kind of, I think, struggle to choose a lane with its ability. Obviously, Bandert and Puppist are going to be very special focused, but then Snowbrawl and Ravarus are physical, so you really... all 4 of my damage dealers are like split very much half and half, and I can't say one side is more threatening than the other. Obviously, Bandert is kind of my team's strongest link, so like baseline you're thinking, okay, I want to go that front, but Snowbrawl actually has a pretty solid matchup here as well. It can hit Angrief decently, not perfectly, but decently. Obviously it can beat Ephagrieve. It can beat Boggle and Karaskai, so really it's struggling to hit Jetsome as the main thing. And then Tropiclaw. Tropiclaw is kind of a big problem for my team, as has been made abundantly clear by this point. I have a real issue with fighting, and Terragard Body Press is an issue. I can hit it back with the Bug, I can hit it back with Poison technically. That's kind of it. If it goes hard on like defense boosts and body pressing me, it basically comes down to trying to get something out of Bandert or Puppist to take that thing down, which is going to be tough. Peanut said, looking at me on the other hand, I would say the lack of water resists does make Rain really good here. The aforementioned Tropiclush out. I would say the speed and priority war on Peanut's side is sort of naturally at a baseline. I would say he's losing that. Thanks to the Unburdened Mons, thanks to Ravarus, I do have a natural speed advantage, but he has so many more control options than me. I mean, really, my only option is Trick Room, and I would never use Trick Room for myself because all my damage dealers are on the faster end, so really the only reason I would ever click Trick Room would be to take down someone else's Trick Room, which, I mean, with Boggle here, maybe not a bad idea, but it's definitely questionable. Also, I want to say that obviously this is the famous matchup, the famed matchup between Ephagrieve and Bandert. Ephagrieve actually has the advantage here. You'd think it would be, you know, exactly even because their stats are essentially identical, just one's physical, one's special. But since they have the same defensive profile, they are defensively frailer than special defensively. So when it comes to a Sharpness X Scissor versus a Mega Launcher Aura Sphere, Ethagrieve wins that. Who is going to be faster? That is the question. Going into this match, I'm thinking of it like, okay, you know, speed creep, the speed creep. So if he goes 4 EVs if he goes 4 EVs in speed, go 8, which I think is what I'm doing. I'm saying like if he goes full, I don't remember what I'm running this week. I think it's assault armor. Pretty sure it's an assault armor, which will help hopefully slightly. Who knows, man. But if he goes full speed, he goes full speed. But honestly, since we would match out at full speed, I'm kind of expecting him to not do that. So I'm thinking, okay, if he runs the 4, I run the 8. We'll see he had a better idea. This is game 2, so in game 1 we did already reveal the rain, and we revealed, importantly, the choice scarf on Jetsome, and choicing into Electro Shot, which I don't really have any answers to. I didn't end up revealing that much because I died too quickly. I entrainment moodied Calorps, which, yeah, that took a little bit too long. Had I led with that again, had I not been scared into leading with that again, I might have actually fared significantly better in game 2, but alas. Spoilers for how this goes, I suppose. So let's get into it. So I decide, okay, we're just leading fast and furious, and he's going to lead slow. So I am going to go for the fake out here. We don't want Tailwind to go up. I'm scared of that. I don't know. You tell me. Is this because Boggle is actually the GOAT, or is this because Puppis simply doesn't do enough damage? Is it a combination of both? I don't know. I don't know how to look at this. I'm the one guy who thinks Boggle is okay, so I want to attribute this to Boggle being tanky, but at the same time, Puppis has kind of been shit in the bed for me, so maybe it's a Puppis issue. I don't know. But we don't get the kill there. Eats the Dubious Blend. He is confused, but he does not care. He's going to set up the Trick Room anyways, which is very, very bad for me with this lead. Would have been a lot better otherwise. Barely living. We love to live that. Unfortunately, Hurricane is going to take us out, which means nothing. Probably not a good play here. I mean, realistically, I don't know what that does for me at this point. The thing is, Hurricane kind of just killed. I think in retrospect, it was a bad play, of course. I don't benefit from the snow at this point. I'm dying regardless, but the main thing is that he doesn't really need rain to be up anymore, because he's going to be faster than Bandert in Trick Room, which means Bandert can kill with Shatter Pulse. No questions there, so he automatically loses to that. And then for anything else that comes in, he can just click Dark Pulse instead. He doesn't need to click Hurricane. Obviously Jelster, you click Dark Pulse. Ravarus, honestly, you can click anything. It's probably not surviving. It's pretty frail. So I think getting that set up was bad. I think I'm probably unburdened in this game because I consume normal gem, yeah. So really, I mean, I was kind of just PTSDing. I was like, okay, well, if Jetsome comes in on a future turn, I don't want it to just be able to do that thing again, but Trick Room is up for another 3 turns. I was thinking significantly too far ahead. This game is going to be over before Trick Room ends, so really bad play on my part. Should have just gone for the kill. I mean, honestly, a triple axle probably would have killed. Actually, at this point, it probably didn't kill Boggle at the +1. Could have killed Karaskai. Boggle, kind of an issue for me at this point. Can't really underspeed it. We're going to bring in Jelster. We're going to try Psy Shield Bash. We are getting the bonus there. But I want this thing dead. I want this thing dead so bad. But now I'm fast, and that's not great for me. All right, so now we're down to the final 2. No more confusion. We love never getting punished for running the confusion item. Foul play. Honestly, not that great here. Just because naturally pretty low attacking stats. Big benefit to Jelster is just the fact that it can crit all the time, which means that 2x defense not really gonna matter thanks to Merciless. Not enough to kill though. That is a 2-shot, unfortunately. And here comes the Ephigreave, and here we see the room service. So, yeah, that was the plan for Ephigreave. I would say very smart, completely outplayed. And obviously that is not going to do enough. And X-Scissor is going to kill. I don't know if that killed from full, but it doesn't matter. At this point, I kind of just have to try and get the Toxic Stall just for one extra differential point, but it doesn't pan out. Really good game from Peanut. Really played around the Trick Room, played around the Boggle very well. This is Boggle propaganda. I think Boggle is solid. He arena trapped me in. I didn't really have a way of leaving the match, the bad matchup that I had with the super fast guys. Couldn't kill him in one turn unless I tried to double target. Didn't think I needed to double target. And I mean, I think just my leads were completely flipped. If the previous game I had led my fast core, I probably could have gotten rid of Jetsome before it got, well, actually, probably not, because who had my sash? Ravris had my sash. So yeah, Electroshock probably it would have just gone first and killed. So that was maybe a lost either way. But this game, I think, with how slow it was, I think Boggle does, one of the things it doesn't do great is offenses. It's not bad. It's a support mon that is dangerous enough that you can't ignore it, but it's not actually a very good damage dealer on its own. So I do think Calorps could have dealt with it after a couple of defense boosts. But either way, that is going to be the game. Let's move on to Diggory versus Vlinx. So Vlinx, obviously big speed disadvantage here. Gouget can't really make up for it. It has E-speed, but like, that's it. Like, you're kind of screwed outside of that. This is Battle of the Redirectors here. Much like last game, we had the Ephigreave and the Bandit. Who's going to win that? We have Concerta and Malothe. Concerta, I think, just solidly the better mon. Follow Me is better than Rage Powder. Water and Fairy is the better type. I would say it has better stats for being a Redirector. But Malothe does beat Concerta directly, so there is that to think about. Also, Vudred is notably immune to Rage Powder. Not that Vudred has ever come to a match, so that's probably fine. Diggory's probably fine on that front. I would say Shuricorn and Impester are sort of the real problems here. This is game one, so Impester is very much still a black box. It has access to fighting coverage, which makes Illusion really scary for Gouget and Mobscure, because they're both specially frail, and Impester can just kind of come in, pretend to be something else, shoot off a Focus Blast. I'm not entirely sure if it gets Focus Blast. You can definitely shoot off an Aura Sphere, which might be enough, honestly, against these two, and kind of mess them up, which is bad when Vlinx doesn't really have any other physical attackers. On Diggory's side, Reverie has been consistently Vlinx's top mon, and it's usually running a protective move, so Unseen Fist is a good shout. Lumarina honestly has a pretty decent matchup here. It can match up well into Gouget, it can match up well into Vudred, it can match up decently into Reverie. It does need to potentially watch out for Flash Fire. Corrosion, I feel, is not a particularly good pick into this matchup, because you're still hitting Marachnid for resist with a poison move, and nothing else here. I mean, Bomboros is the real thing you're using a poison move for anyways, and Marachnid is like, just fucking use a fire move, so that's fine. I would say Lumarina does lose to Mobscure, and Gouget can electric move it. It's pretty tanky, but it is physically frailer than it is specially, and it's pretty slow, so it does have to take that into account. The real question, I think, is Flash Fire versus Weak Armor. Are you willing to risk a blue flare into something that while Erlen Fryer can still switch in? Otherwise, you really need a way to break through Concerta, I think, because not a lot of these mons can do that. Marachnid kind of can, just because it has naturally high damage. Concerta isn't weak to double Iron Bash, but, Sheer Force Double Iron Bash is friggin' good. But otherwise, it's really, really tough to deal with those follow me's from Concerta. Obviously, we mentioned Malothe can do it, but otherwise, it's like, I mean, Shurikorn struggles, Bomboros really struggles, and Pester struggles. So I think it really comes down to Vlinx doing that and protecting as much as he can. Who is he protecting is the big question. I guess Gouget to some extent. I think Gouget potentially has the best matchup here. Or Reverie, really, that's what it comes down to. So let's see how it plays out. So yeah, as expected, we do... this is basically, I think, the perfect lead for Vlinx. Leading with a Silk Trap. Very interesting. And here we go. Boom. That is the fake-ass Shurikorn. Is this game 1 or game 2? This is game 1. This is game 1, so completely off guard. Diggory has had, in previous weeks, a habit of leading something game 1, and then game 2 leading the same lead, but switching one of the mons for Impester. Didn't even bother this time, just said, screw it, we fuck it, we ball. So we've got a fake Shurikorn here doing the tried and true, I say tried and true, literally the one other time it's been used it failed, Swamp Pledge here. Taking out Concerta, which is massive because that is the biggest problem for Diggory right now, and it's just gone in one. So that's massive. The team is now super slow, completely wasted turn from Reverie, unfortunately. Now we're super slow, so what do? Here comes the real Shurikorn. Erlen gonna switch in there. Not Flash Fire, so it's just gonna die right off the bat. That Soul Siphon is just pumping up. And then the real Shurikorn is gonna die. Now this is, yeah, okay, see, this is tough, unless, if Mobscure has Obstruct here, like you definitely, I feel like double protect against a Marachnid here, because first impression into either of these slots kills. Yeah, that's unsurprising. Obstruct would have been nice, I don't think it really would have made a huge difference, although Reverie can outspeed. Lunge not going to kill through the bug, but Blue Flare is going to kill. So that's going to be the game. I'd say, yeah, I mean, unfortunate turn 1. Really well played from Diggory, finally getting the Swamp Pledge to work out for him. Immediately taking care of the hugest threat, which is Concerta. Gouget didn't come that game. Wonder how it would have fared. I mean, I feel like it's probably a 2-shot into Lumarina is the thing. And I don't really know how it deals with Marachnid. I think it can, well, no, because then the Blue Flare, maybe Okaberry potentially, that still probably kills actually. So yeah, it's a tough matchup. All right, game 3, Bauer versus Burnt. Okay, so on Bauer's side, obviously things are, I think, pretty standard when it comes to what Burnt is weak to. Debriston is a real force here, but I think Ballerade is actually solid here too. It's got access to Sludge Bomb and Poison Jab, which hits a surprising amount of Burnt's fire team. Lunatic suffers a lot into this matchup just because of the fire and the sun. We see that back in game 1, but I do think it does have some use cases. We'll talk about that because it and Cronula, this is just the week of like guys that are similar going up against each other, so we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, the speed war is tough, I think. We have 2 of the best speed controllers in the league here. Both Burnt and Meteor Bauer have Tailwind modes, they both have Trick Room modes, and they both have Chronokinesis support. And when I say what speed control everybody goes for is really going to depend from game to game. Meteor Bauer, I think, generally has the better Tailwind mode. Ballerade is faster than Pyrokai, so it can get up Tailwind first and basically let its ally kill Pyrokai before Pyrokai can do anything. It also gets an attack boost if it's Wind Rider, which I'm pretty sure it always has been. I don't think Meteor Bauer's ever run Static or Dancer, which, yeah, I mean, that's fair. Wind Rider is definitely the best ability there, I would say. So yeah, Ballerade I think definitely wins for Tailwind. So Burnt I think is more so looking at TR That's a little bit more up in the air. I would say 1v1 Lunatic definitely... That's not even true. I want to say Lunatic beats... not Chronokinesis, Jesus, he has a name. Cronula. I think in the 1v1 you do win that. I don't think Cronula has enough damage to break through Lunatic, whereas I do think Lunatic... Well, I say that, but it's like literally the opposite. Like, it has a higher special attack than either of Lunatic's stats. Lunatic, I would argue, is significantly bulkier, but I don't know. That's a tough matchup for sure. But Lunatic additionally has other issues. It has issues with fire. It has issues with sun. So I think that for Burnt is going to be kind of the main thing to go for. On Burnt's side, I'm going to be honest, man. I look at Debriston and I just say, fuck me, dude. Maracabra can't use grass moves because it could have Sap Sipper. Everything on this team literally dies to a combination of rock, ground, and grass, which are, you know, Debriston's 3 major attacking types. Your Flying Mon dies to a rock slide, and then your best ice move is gonna be like Ice Fang, probably, off of Ignitius. So it's a real struggle bus on how you deal with Debriston in this matchup. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on how to do that. Sorry. Not that it matters. The game is over. So yeah, as expected, Meteor Bower does... Okay, interesting that Burnt also tries in going for the tail. Oh, he doesn't. Right, I forgot this is the explosion game. Actually sick as fuck. Okay, that's one of the reasons I fucking chose this game to talk about. Violet just acting as a way to say, no, actually. No, speed control for you. That's great. I mean, obviously, we have Damar to live with the sash. Otherwise, I feel like that's a really good pickup from Violent, because what else is Violent doing? It kind of, I mean, it doesn't beat Silhouette, doesn't beat the Briston, beats Refruin, I guess, and Lunatic. But no, that's a good play. We don't get Tailwind up. And then Cronula is superpower. Oh, the suppression, that does fucking hurt, though. Big parting shot. That is actually a huge parting shot, because now, yeah, I mean, it's fast. Oh, that sucks to not see kill. Because now at this point, you are dead no matter what. I mean, nothing here survives. So you're going to have the Poltergeist into the Protect slot, and then obviously you're not going to have a chance to move. There is no win con on that turn at that point. The parting shot, if the parting shot goes off, or if the parting shot doesn't go off, and you suppression again, that is still faster than Cronula's the thing, so you could just suppression into Cronula there, and kill it. But if it, I don't know, well, obviously wouldn't Will-O-Wisp, Chill-O-Wisp would be the same issue. I don't know what the win con is, man. The Briston didn't even come this game. But yeah, if you could kill that at the very least, Pyrokai doesn't really have a chance against Silhouette either, man. This is rough. This is a rough game. Sorry, Bert. I don't have much advice on this one, but that's a tough matchup if I've ever seen one. All right, let's get into the final, which is going to be Hamstrings versus Post Structure. I mean, really, I don't know what I could say about Hamster's team that hasn't already been said. It's a largely predictable team. That is not a bad thing. It is predictable because it's good. It's effective. The biggest wild cards on this team, I think, are generally like who is using Trick Room, who is using Fake Out, and then, of course, Tim and Earl's typing, which, as we can see here, is Steel. I don't get this. I'm going to be real. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. I highly doubt it is to account for Regalia, because I don't think Hamster is particularly threatened by Regalia. And it is one of the few types that Co-Crush can actually kill, because Co-Crush, notably one of its big weaknesses is its offensive typing. And you kind of already have a way to kill Silmarun via Gridlug and Discrom. So really not sure what the Temenrel Steel does for you here. Post has an issue, and that issue is Trick Room. You can't run Prankster, because if you run Prankster, then Riggerdeal just gets to go ham. But you do have the quicker Tailwind. I think Covert Cloak, Excelicuda is potentially good here, because you can dodge the fake out, and then you're still Tailwinding before Ecubus. And then Co-Crush. I think at that point, if it is speed invested, likely beats out. Yeah, almost certainly. Honestly, it might even... So I'm going to talk about min speed Co-Crush as well. I'm not sure if min speed Co-Crush in Tailwind would outspeed Ecubus, but it's possible. Point is, I think, yeah, at that point, Co-Crush, you could stop Hamster's speed control that way. But I think Hamster definitely sees the Tailwind advantage for post. Probably isn't going to go for that. I mean, game 1, he did lead some fast mons, but he tends to switch it up. Game 1, game 2, he usually says a little bit of A, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Luckily, I think thanks to Teminrel's typing, Co-Crush is a free lead here. Ecubus is not going to lead next to hard TR. You can kill Teminrel, you can kill Riggerdeal, you can kill Discrom. Ecubus, if you have the Tailwind on your side and that goes up first, you can kill Ecubus. Gridlug is probably not a kill, but Gridlug's not killing you back either. You're both very physically tanky. And then Melominus, I think, is the one kind of mon that Co-Crush doesn't have a great way of hitting here. I mean, it kills it if it hits it. Honestly, I think you could probably fucking kill with a Smackdown. Not that I don't think Poster's running Smackdown, but it's fast enough naturally, and it doesn't have like a super obvious counter. Notably, I do, as I mentioned with min speed Co-Crush can actually underspeed Riggerdeal by 1 point. And neither Teminrel nor Gridlug has a good way of one-shotting Co-Crush. So if you can preserve that piece, you have a way to win in TR, even if you are also winning in TW. The point is, I just think it's in a really, really good spot this game to benefit from whatever kind of speed control goes up, as long as you are sort of in control of that. As I mentioned last time, Hamstring did lead super fast, and he tends to switch it up between game 1 and game 2, so we're probably seeing the double TR here. I say this having watched the match and knowing what it is, of course. I think to post, it comes down to 2 things. Either you want to basically hard predict the TR, you lead Co-Crush Schrodinger again, Schrodinger taunts. Thankfully, it is not Prankster. Schrodinger taunts one slot, and Co-Crush kills the other. But if you're expecting the Tailwind again, I think you lead next to Excelicuda, and you get a Tailwind up before they can do anything, and then Co-Crush takes a kill that way. So let's see what happens. So we are leading the double... Actually, not the double. This is the Gridlug. So we only have 1 TR setter right now. We are going to get the taunt off. Now, here's the thing, right? So Post notes this, that Hammer Arm was not the right play, because it just didn't do enough damage. Close combat would have killed there. I mean, honestly, Headlong Rush would have killed there too. Actually, no, Headlong Rush probably wouldn't have, because it's not stab. So that is unfortunate. Poison Jab is gonna live. We live those. Now, granted, had he dropped his defenses with the close combat, he would have died. But that's fine, right? I don't know. You take out the TR setter on the TR team, and I feel like you're in a good spot. That's a valuable 1v1 for Co-Crush, I think. You want to preserve it as much as you can, but honestly, if Hamster is going full Trick Room this game, it's good to just get that thing out of the way. But really, if you are predicting a Trick Room here, and you go for the taunt, you clearly are predicting it because you're taunting into it. I think at that point you just Headlong Rush the Gridlug, because you're probably not going to kill it, and then Gridlug will kill you back, but you're going to get a ton of valuable damage on this thing that nothing else on your team really can do. Maybe sans like Carterage. Carterage with like Wave Crash probably does a hefty chunk to Gridlug, but that is probably about it. And then if you're this is a wasted turn from Temenrel if it's using Trick Room because you've taunted it. So it's like, at that point, what is it even doing? It's like suppressioning the Schrodinger, I guess, is kind of its best play at that point. So I feel like if this had killed, the taunt was useless. If this didn't kill, which it didn't, that taunt made it useless. So I feel like it's just getting as much damage as you can on the Gridlug. Either way, so that it goes exactly as planned. Yeah, you're definitely not killing with that. So yeah, predictable, not predictable, sorry, good switch into the cartridge. Predictable switch into the cartridge. I actually don't think it was, I think, you know, letting Co-Crush, because Co-Crush is going first there. So I think very much you could just, and at 6%, the fucking defense drops don't matter, so you just, like, smack Temenrel Steel. Honestly, you probably double target Gridlug, maybe. I mean, you could take out both. I mean, you're not killing Gridlug without a double down, but I think you can attack Headlong Rush there, you can Psychic there, you can Psychic here. Either one really works, because you're faster. Both these guys are super slow, but we get the switch in. Iron Head is going to be resisted. Earthquake taking out his own Mon there. Honestly, solid play. Solid play from the Gridlug. You at this point, like, if you're recognizing that, I say this, let me tell Hamster Wings how to play the game. When he's realizing that Trick Room is, you know, I've never realized that if the move gets shown but fails to use, it just shows without PP usage. That makes sense, but it's funny, and I hadn't really considered that that's how it works. You get really, really good damage across the field. You're not really in danger of dying yet. I think without Cosmicus Brand, Cartridge potentially kills with like, I don't know, Reckless Wave Crash maybe. But with Cosmicus Brand, that's honestly not a guarantee. So just getting this dead slot off the field ASAP and getting a ton of damage on, I think is really nice. In comes Discrom, now he's super fast. Thunderclap, brilliant move. We haven't seen that yet. But yeah, I mean, if you're expecting the Aqua Jet, boom, Thunderclap outspeeding, killing. I mean, it's really nice here because you now have something that is faster than anything on the field. I mean, it's technically slower than Schrodinger, but as we can see, it has priority. You got to be careful with the Thunderclap in a Schrodinger because it's shown that it likes to use status moves and the Psychic. Unfortunate misclick the previous turn with the Moonblast. Otherwise, the double Psychics would have killed Gridlug at this point. So it is a bit sad to see that misclick cost a differential point. But it is what it is. Poison Jab obviously going to kill here. We see the Curse Body proc, hell yeah. And now we're back to these two. Now this is tough because Thunderclap obviously going to kill Co-Crush here if he uses it. So Silmarun's kind of got its work cut out for it. It can probably kill Gridlug. It doesn't have psychic moves. It doesn't have ground moves. Maybe it can't kill Gridlug. I'm not sure. I mean, Silmarun certainly can. Not sorry. Fuck. I'm so tired. It was a long day. Co-Crush can certainly kill Gridlug at this point if it can move, which it is very unlikely to be able to do. But we see the fucking wide guard. Oh, I love it. I love it. Good play. Honestly, great play. Because now you can Dazzling Gleam. This guy's definitely dead. Gridlug probably lives. Has Gridlug hasn't gone yet. Yeah, so Gridlug probably kills the Co-Crush. I was going to say next turn, if the Gridlug can't move, boom, you just kill. Brilliant. Brilliant play, but no. This is actually really, really good gaming from Post, I think. Lives with the Sash. Boom! This is it, bro! The main problem is just the Thunderclap, which we've already seen. If Thunderclap wasn't here, this is an easy Dazzling Gleam and Headlong Rush. And that's a double down. You're probably not surviving whoever the last Mon is, but I think had just a few things gone differently, had we gotten that Psychic, had Hamster not thought to run this move that nobody has run yet, mainly because it's only on one guy, it's still a signature move. It's just signature to my guy now. This could have potentially gone differently for post. Also, brilliant wide guard usage, both between the taunt and the wide guard. It is nice to see somebody using the moves that naturally counter Hamster's team against Hamster's team. Of course, at this point, the game is unfortunately over. Thunderclap is going to kill there. We are going to get the grid lug down. But it is not gonna be enough because it is a 1v2 and we got a thunderclap and it's just a little Jover right now. Doesn't even go for the thunderclap. He's crazy. He's crazy for that one. I mean, I guess any move would have worked. Wanted to use the flash cannon. But no, I mean, taunting, when you, I think there was an issue with that taunt and the fact that you taunted and targeted the same slot, but just generally having that as an answer to Trick Room, you know, because not Gridlug, Teminal can't run Mental Herb. It's forced to run a Crystal, and if it's not running a Crystal, you will know. So it's a bit dangerous on that front. Not running Prankster so that you can taunt the Rigger Deal if you need to. And then the Wide Guard, I mean, you see a Power Ramp Boom Burst man on the field next to a ground type. Yeah, Wide Guard's the play. It also learns Quick Guard. I probably didn't bring Quick Guard because why would you be expecting the Thunderclap? Probably didn't even realize it gets that move, which I wouldn't blame you for. But, you know, Quick Guard could potentially be used for, like, fake outs. So, honestly, Silmaron, I think, has kind of struggled a lot of these games. This is one where I think it really found a good use case as a really good support mon for this team. And overall, it was still a loss. Hamster still takes another one. But as far as games go, I mean, Vlinx has taken a game off of post. Not off of post, sorry. Vlinx has taken a game off of Hamster. But other than that, this is, I think, the closest a match has come to going in someone else's favor. So, great work, post, on that front. Anyways, that is going to be it for this one. I am going to now go and edit this together and hopefully put it on YouTube so it can actually be out before the week is over, and then I have to go record fucking week 5. Oh, I hate everything. Good night.